I'm from Laoka and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Ken Goodler and I'm from Australia, but I'm part Fijian from Watraki, and I love listening to Today FM Rocks.
For the best music and less talk, we tune into Today FM in National Village. Today FM rocks.
My name is Inai Ali and I'm from Ba, and I love the big breakfast on Today FM. I just love it and hope you love it too.
My name is Jay from Laoka. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Naushin and I'm from Sambeto, and I love Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. Tonight, Prime Minister hits out at NFP's attitude in Parliament. Government works on being less reliant on donor funding. And Fiji Roads Authority reveals more on MWH saga. Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama has stated that the decision of the National Federation Party to boycott the first sitting of Parliament and the Constitution Day celebration is an insult to the head of state and the people of Fiji. Bainimarama says the action taken by the NFP is a great shame. Ali Kimbia has more.
It's a great shame.
Speaking in Parliament today, Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama says the National Federation Party continues to stage a cheap political stunt.
It is not our democracy that is a sham, nor our constitution. The real sham is the once great National Federation Party, the party of such great figures in Fijian history, such as A.D. Patel and Siddiq Quayle, now reduced to a grumpy rum.
Bainimarama says it is the duty of every member of Parliament to act in the best interest of all Fijians. However, this is not the case for NFP. Party leader Dr. Biman Prasad says NFP is a party of principles and it will stick to it no matter what.
We will continue to push for genuine democracy in this country, including the review of the media decree, the political parties decree, the public order amendment decree and others.
I noticed the NFP leader giving an interview in which he questioned the legitimacy of our constitution and described our democracy as a sham. No, Honorable Leader, it is the leadership of your party that is the sham.
Bainimarama says the action taken by NFP displays no respect to the will of the people of Fiji and no respect to Parliament. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
The government wants to be less reliant on donations in time to come. Minister for Economy Ayaz Said Qayyum has told Parliament there's now a more coordinated approach to funding.
Donor funding makes up only 5% of Fiji's annual budget.
Ultimately, our goal is that one day we do not need aid. We don't want to be dependent on aid. And I have to very quickly also qualify that by saying we are one of the lowest recipients of aid in the Southern Pacific.
Syed Qayyum told Parliament the government's end goal is to be more self-reliant. He adds this can be achieved if there is a more unified approach between donor agencies and the government.
If we all work together, if we have our development partners complement government initiatives, we will be able to get off the aid train a lot quicker. We will be able to have a lot more independence.
There's never been more international aid pouring into Fiji than this year. Tens of millions of dollars worth of relief items, monetary pledges and technical assistance following Tropical Cyclone Winston. However, these are seen as short-term assistance meant to help communities get back on their feet. Edwin Nand, FBC News.
The Special Parliamentary Standing Committee on Emoluments has recommended that there be no salary increases for MPs. Committee Chairperson Dr. Bridgelal says instead adjustments to sitting allowances should be considered. A motion without notice was passed to debate the emoluments report before the House on Thursday.
The committee is not recommending any increase in salary, primarily because of the nation is still recovering from the tropical cyclone Winston. What is proposed, however, is an adjustment to allowances only to reflect the evolving roles of MPs in their various functions. We have seen the hardships faced by MPs thus far, and these adjustments are necessary to ensure that they are given adequate support in pursuit of their duties.
Currently, MPs are entitled to a daily sitting allowance of $80 for both parliamentary and committee sessions. MWH terminated its contract with the FRA for its own benefit. This is the belief of the FRA, revealed by its chief executive, John Hutchinson, during an exclusive interview with FBC News today. Roland Karoy reports.
We saw it coming, is how Fiji Roads Authority Chief Executive John Hutchinson described the move by MWH to terminate its contract.
Were we caught short? No. We were aware that this was a potential consequence of the interaction between ourselves and MWH, and we did have contingency planning in place.
Hutchinson believes the termination of the contract by MWH had some degree of convenience. Already informed of the non-renewal of its contract, which was to expire in December, MWH, according to Hutchinson, was directed to take a more targeted approach in the delivery of its services. This involved the transferring of some of its services to the FRA, resulting in a major downsizing of its staff, with an average of 40 staff being made redundant every month until December.
It's the FRA's belief that it was convenient to terminate everyone as of the 23rd of September because it means that they don't have to basically go through that reduction process over the coming months.
Had MWH continued with its contract, Hutchinson believes they would have never been able to meet their contractual obligations with the reduced force. The FRA does not believe that the $20 million claim by MWH for its services in 2016 is true. MWH blamed the non-payment as one of the reasons for terminating its contract. Hutchinson maintains that if substantiation of claims are produced, they will pay. Until then, it's work as usual. Roland Karoy, FBC News.
Emails and calls made to MWH Communications Manager Asia Pacific Paul Bromley remain unanswered. Evidence of the vicious hijacking of a car and the brutalizing of a family in Laoka has come to light thanks to a security camera. Police are calling on the public for assistance in apprehending the violent youths. Maggie Boyle has more. Viewer discretion is advised.
Caught on camera at the front of the store, the driver of the motor vehicle gets out and heads into the shop. The boys then pounce on the vehicle to try to drive it away, unaware of the women and children inside. The driver runs out. He tries to grab at one of the youth, but he is outnumbered, with one young man choking him and another punching him in the face. Still, he tries to help the other passengers still inside. After the violent robbery and assaults of the driver, as well as a bystander, it's only apparent that they were two small children, one clutching onto a woman and the other pushed out of the back seat and almost crushed to death by the back wheels of the four-wheel drive. Police spokesperson Anna Naisore confirms a search was conducted and the vehicle was found abandoned on the same night of the robbery, with the search for those involved continuing.
A police team is currently working to identify those seen in the footage. They're asking if anyone has information that could help them in their investigations to please call Crime Stoppers on 919. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Still to come on FBC News, pastor to be sentenced on Thursday. And FRA urges for road users to adhere to weight restrictions. Stay with us.
Iyo mbula bina tangu epeli untuk taliten laporan mbula FM nabu.
Namban don tinangan mbula FM no sur. Mbula FM namban do en ser.
Mbula sia puni ba ulambasa na da ko bila merikibi mbula FM namban do en ser talita itu ngai lambas.
Mbula FM namban 2 en ser.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. Back to Eden Church, Pastor Ioane Vakandranu stands convicted of rape in the Suva High Court. Justice Vincent Pereira concurred with the verdict made by the assessors on Friday, finding Vakandranu guilty of all 4 counts of rape. Shireen Chivan has been following the case.
During the ruling this afternoon, Judge Justice Vincent Pereira said the accused, Pastor Ivane Vakandranu, had misused the authority on the two victims and performed such an act which he wasn't supposed to. He said the first victim consented to sexual intercourse because she believed the accused, who is her pastor. He said for the first 3 counts of rape, the pastor gave a false representation to her that a person should only preach something which he or she has already experienced, and by doing this the pastor had compromised the victim's thinking. Furthermore, during the cross-examination last week, the pastor had stated that after the physical lessons, the church members were given the opportunity to preach. However, the first victim was not sent to any mission for 3 years. Judge Justice Vincent Pereira stressed rape is an offence which cannot be reconciled. The judge further said the second victim also did not give consent for sexual intercourse but fell prey to Vakandranu's fraudulent representation. The judge said both the victims were deceived by the pastor, who falsely told them that he was appointed by God to perform such act. Defense lawyer Semi Tinivata has asked for time to file mitigation. Judge Justice Vincent Pereira has now set 29 September as the date for mitigation and sentencing. Sharin Shivan, FBC News.
The Fiji Roads Authority is disappointed with the overloaded vehicles not following the weight restrictions for Thamavui Bridge in Lami. FRA CEO John Hutchinson says some operators are overloading their vehicles. Pranita Prakash reports.
In 2012.
FRA CEO has clarified that the legal weight limit at the Tamavua-Iwai Bridge is 32-ton gross weight limit.
We are finding trucks that are in excess of 50 tonnes. Yes, we've carried out repairs on the Tamavua-Iwai Bridge. Those repairs are temporary repairs designed to get us through the next 3 to 5 years whilst we put a replacement bridge in place.
Major changes are expected to be made to the weight limit on the bridges in the country.
There is currently a working group, a technical working group, being established by the Ministry of Infrastructure and Transport, which involves representatives from both the LTA, the FRA, the police, and the industry. And that's been working on a review or an overhaul of the legislation and the standards. And that's really around what should be the legal weight loads and limits.
Minister for Infrastructure Parveen Bala says the weight limit needs to be strictly followed.
I had a meeting with the stakeholders and I have directed them to do a advertisement in the media informing the general public about overloading and what plans and measures LTA is going to take.
Land Transport Authority is now operating a 24/7-way bridge in Lami and issuing traffic infringement notices to overloaded vehicles. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Pooling the skills of local doctors will mean shorter queues at hospitals and allow Fijians to seek treatment when needed. This was assured by new Minister for Health Rosie Akbar in Parliament today. Akbar confirmed that there will be a pooling of substitute doctors during busy periods to help remedy the doctor shortage.
A locum arrangement with Nadi Hospital is currently underway and others will start up around the country on the basis of need. Madam Speaker, this locum arrangement will bring in general practitioners to support our health sector in critical areas. It is an immediate fix to the service delivery issues that we face until we are able to staff our own hospitals appropriately.
The Ministry of Health is also working to recruit doctors from overseas to fill gaps in both the clinical and public health arenas. The government has tabled an amendment to create an electronic transaction law to align Fiji with international trade codes which come into effect in January. This law would precede adoption of the UN Convention on the Use of Electronic Communications for International Trade and Contracts. However, some in the opposition believe the UN Convention should be considered before any amendment to the law. Grace Narayan reports.
Regarding the UN Convention on the Use of Electronic Communications, the Attorney General today moved for adoption of international codes used under the Convention.
The UN Convention on the Use of Electronic Transactions for International Trade and Sale of International Contracts. We need to have an accompanying law that will give effect to this convention. and we have referred this convention to the Foreign Affairs Committee, which will have approximately 4 to 5 months, about 4 months, to debate this and call for public consultations.
However, the move to make the changes was opposed by opposition member Biman Prasad, who said there are several questions to be answered first, and the bill should be referred to the Standing Committee on Economic Affairs.
Questions like what sort of financial implications we will have in the administration at the domestic level, whether we require a dedicated body set up to look at how the implementation of the laws that will follow the convention.
The Minister for Communication has tabled the bill and it will now be presented to the Standing Committee on Economic Affairs. Grace Narayan, FBC News.
After a lapse of 4 years, China has again decided to provide assistance to the agricultural sector. Today, a delegation from the Chinese Agriculture Ministry and its local counterpart had their 4th joint committee meeting, sharing views on promoting agricultural production. Agriculture Minister Iniesero Ratu says Fiji needs the agricultural scientists China can supply to help boost production.
On people-to-people exchanges, we would warmly welcome more of Chinese scientists here to help us, not only in crops but in livestock, and of course value addition as well. Fiji has a lot of potentials if we value it, and we are hopeful that we will have food technologists and food scientists.
Now to sports, here's Jamie with the latest.
Kanaka Jackie, and good evening. After the break, Fijian flavor in NRL affiliated states team. And referees complete 5-day training program. This and more coming up.
मैं जुगेन नंबिलो तालिब से रेडियो फिजी 2 24 घंटे मेरे साथ रहता है।
हम मंगेरी ताउका के ललेश है। हमारे दिल में और दिमाग में खाली रेडियो फिजी 2 है और सभी भाइयों से आग्रह करते हैं कि रेडियो फिजी 2 सुनना चाहिए।
मेरा नाम अभिनेश है, मैं निंदी का रहने वाला हूँ। मैं सभी समय रेडियो फिजी 2 सुनता हूँ क्योंकि उसमें आईना प्रोग्राम रहता है।
हाय, मैं उमेश नसासा नाबुआ से। मैं जब
Despite having links to Fiji, there'll be no love lost when Leon Rotuma leads the NRL affiliated states against the Fiji Residents Rugby League side tomorrow evening at ANZ Stadium. The co-captain of the visitors has links to Fiji and is looking forward to play on Fijian soil for the first time. Rohit there with the story.
It is his first time in Fiji and Leon Rotuma says he's enjoying every moment of it.
Love it, beautiful. Yeah, definitely have to get back here, bring the family back. But yeah, loving it at the moment.
Rotuma adds that he is looking forward to playing against his Fijian brothers tomorrow.
We're looking forward to it. We know it's going to be a tough contest. You know, as everyone knows, the Fijian athletes are just naturally talented. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
Team co-captain Delaine Edwards says it's always difficult to play against any Fijian team.
A very tough game, a very, very tough game from what I've heard. We have a lot of respect for especially the athletic ability of our local Fijians, and we're expecting to be running around the park quite a bit.
The match kicks off at 6 p.m. at the ANZ Stadium. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
Around 30 referees were part of a 5-day FIFA Fiji Football MA Elite course that ended today at the Fiji FA headquarters. 9 assessors also went through the clinic, dissecting various game situations and new laws. FIFA instructors were impressed with the response from the local referees.
There has been a lot of enthusiasm. It's been a very positive experience, I think, for both the referees as well as the assessors, who also needed to attend so that they are aware of the new changes in the laws. We've had more than 80 changes in the law, so everybody needed to be on the same page and to be updated to the same level.
The Fiji Netball Under-21 side made a great start to the Oceania World Youth Qualifiers, beating Tonga in its first match 55-34. Fiji took charge of the game for the first quarter and led 30-12 at halftime. The Vicky Wilson coach side then scored 26 points in the last 2 quarters to seal the victory. Great speed and good times were part of the Fiji Car Club's organized Pacific Energy quarter-mile drag races yesterday. Topping the winners list was Amol Singh, who's been racing for the past 10 years and recorded a personal best of 11.1 seconds. Rohit Deo caught up with Singh and filed this report.
Amol Singh, better known as Punjabi, has a passion for car racing and has been doing quite well locally in the past decade.
Been racing from 2006. My first car was a Honda Prelude, and then eventually I got a Toyota MR2 now. It's running with a 3S GTE motor.
His latest outing has set the platform for the upcoming races.
Yes, it has been a very great day today. I've beaten my own personal best time, doing 11.1 seconds, which is very good. I'm very happy.
The Fiji Car Club was pleased with the turnout yesterday as a record number of races and ferns turned up.
I'm very happy with the response from the spectators. 750 spectators is a lot for us. It's a record we have achieved today. Not only that, there is 46 cars that have taken part today. Again, another record.
Meanwhile, Ravi Nair upset Ravi Nas to win the quarter-mile race. Next event will be held next month. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
The next few days could decide if Joseph Parker will box for the IBF World Heavyweight title as early as November. British World Champion Anthony Joshua is still eyeing up Parker for his next title defense. As negotiating continues, the 24-year-old Kiwi finds himself in the box seat. Meanwhile, you can watch the Parker versus Dimitrenko fight at 7 p.m. on Saturday, live on FBC TV. That's it from sports this evening. It's back to Jackie now with business.
An increase in the cost of house rentals has been noticed in the Greater Suva area. Rachel Nath caught up with the Real Estate Licensing Board Chief Executive Abdul Hassan, who tells us the reason behind this.
The real estate experts believe the hike in the capital is simply due to the increase in demands for homes noted since 2000.
The shortage of buildings in the country, particularly in the urban centers, which is a factor that increases the rental.
He adds a common trend noted over the years with sales and rental properties are that people are more willing to rent than buy.
At the moment, there is no short-term solution for this. As you know, in the real estate sector, if buildings are to be constructed, it will take time. This is one factor that will prolong coming of the building in the market.
Meanwhile, the tax authority has also noted the hike in the rental properties and are looking into this matter.
There's no doubt that there is a hike in the property prices, and there is a lot of speculation also happening in the market, like people are buying and selling. FECA is aggressively monitoring all the property dealings in the country. We have partnered with the Titles Office. We have also partnered with the Real Estate Licensing Board.
As the price hike continues to be a pressing issue for those renting in the Greater Suva area, it doesn't look like the demands are going to decrease, meaning that the prices for rentals will continue to increase. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
It was mostly sunny skies and mild temperatures across most of the country today. Lambasa was the warmest centre, recording 34 degrees, while Sabu and Nandi were mild at 29. The rest of the centres had moderate temperatures. For tomorrow, more sunshine is expected in the eastern areas, while the north can expect a few showers. And the further outlook, we're looking ahead to Wednesday. It's a clear sunny day, which is being forecasted with few morning showers in the east. At sea, northwest to northeast winds 10 to 15 knots, moderate seas. And recapping the main stories for tonight, Prime Minister hits out at NFP's attitude in Parliament. Government works on being less reliant on donor funding, and Fiji Roads Authority reveals more on MWH saga. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Results from last week's poll question, we had asked, should the new Denarau Bridge be named the Olympic Bridge? 56% answered yes. On to this week's question, and we are asking, should Fiji soccer hire another overseas coach? To answer, visit our FBC website. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. Good night.
Yandra, I love listening to Gold FM at Golden Point Resort. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hola, my name is General from Bakri Village. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic.
I'm Moses from Valeu. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Marida Manako. I'm from Kandavu. I like listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Tilipa from Tavwa Town. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.